So we got some questions here. I'll read the questions. You've had a wild path from juvenile institutions as a teenager to Wall Street at 20. That's not a resume most people bet on, but someone did. Who was the first person to really take that risk on you to look past the rap sheet, the chaos, the gaps, and see something others missed? Well, I'm not gonna say that it was some Gordon Gekko type person who saw through all the nastiness and was able to give me a shot. The first person to really give me a shot was Steve Inman, Houston, Texas. He had an advertising journal, a trade magazine for police officers, and he asked me a few questions about my background. I was supposed to be in high school at that time. I was supposed to be a senior in high school. I had only completed the 8th grade. I worked a bunch of construction jobs. I worked at McDonald's. I worked in Publix, or not Publix, but Safeway. I worked in Rallies, bagging fries, basically. And he asked me a bunch of questions. It was a sales job in an interview. It was in Houston, Texas. I was 17 years old. I was from New York City. And he basically just looked at me and said, okay, I'm going to give you a shot. Most people would say no, but I have a history of, this is what I remember he said something along the lines of, I have a history of success with people like you. Made me feel kind of like, what does he mean, people like you? So I agreed, to take the job. I think he was paying about, might have been $150 a week or something like that. It was mostly commission and a little bit of salary just to pay the bills to get back and forth. And I think I was making about $250 a week, so $1,000 a month, which is not that bad when you're 17 years old, 1989, 1990 in Houston. Rent was cheap. Actually, rent wasn't that cheap. Rent was free. I live with my aunt, and my aunt charged me rent for a few months. And at the end of the time I was staying with her, about 7 months or so, she came up to me with an envelope. I was going back to New York. I had completed my time in Houston. I cleaned myself up. I was buying a suit. I looked like a young businessman. And she came up to me with an envelope of money. She was charging me about $250 a month rent. And said, "Here, this will help you get started in New York City on a with a little money in the bank," which was really nice of her. So the answer is Steve Inman.